The Delta Realm. Nightmares.
The Delta Realm diverged from the Gamma Realm sometime in the 21st century. By the 2050s, the three largest groups of countries on the planet were the Winslow Accord, the Common Defense Pact or CDP, and the Nile River Coalition or NRC. The Coalescence Corporation was building robotics and new technologies. They invented the Direct Neural Interface or DNI, which allowed the user's brain to have the efficiencies of a computer. However, to get the DNI operational, they used incarcerated test subjects by force. Dr. Yusuf Salim planted the idea of a frozen forest to calm the test subjects. However, in their experiments, they used two old compounds discovered during World War II, Nova-6 and Element 115. They combined them into the compound 6115 and injected it into the test subject's DNI. On June 2, 2060, during the secret Project Corvus, Salim opened the gateway to another universe called MALUM and made contact with Deimos, the demigod of terror and destruction. The blast from the opening of the portal unleashed 6115 as a virus into Singapore, killing thousands of people. Then people started reanimating, and virus 6115 was revealed to be the start of a zombie epidemic. Deimos was confined to the DNI of the test subjects of Project Corvus. He controlled the zombies, and they had eyes of many colors. Concentrated amounts of virus 6115 coalesced into parasites that spread the infection as well. Deimos' sister, Dolos, demigoddess of deception and trickery, also crossed over through the gateway. She remained hidden. The Winslow Accord and CDP worked together to set up quarantine zones around the world to keep the zombies contained. And it worked. Drones were reprogrammed to kill zombies, but when the drones became corrupted, they couldn't differentiate between the living and undead, making many drones hostile to humans. The local gang in Singapore, the 54 Immortals, or 54I, led by Go Zhilong and Go Min, became the rulers of the original quarantine zone. Coalescence executives Sebastian Kruger and Salim survived the disaster, and Kruger moved the Coalescence Corporation headquarters to Zurich to pick up where they left off. When DNIs were sold to the public, the military bought the majority of them. The Winslow Accord accepted John Taylor as the first subject in a new program to create cybernetically augmented soldiers capable of fighting any zombie threat. He was implanted with the DNI and cybernetically augmented. His job would be to lead the undead extermination teams, and he earned the nickname Dead Killer. Sebastian Diaz, Sarah Hall, and Peter Moretti followed in line, signing up as Dead Killers, joining Taylor's undead extermination team. That year, Damian Bishop claimed to have discovered a cure for virus 6115, a cure capable of turning the undead human again. However, the cure always failed in practice, and Damian believed that someone controlling the zombies purposefully stopped it. Deimos wouldn't allow a cure to exist. Bishop became the most wanted man in the world because every country believed they could get the cure to work, and the NRC abducted him. In the mission Black Ops, Taylor's team teamed up with Hendrix and a new soldier known only as the Player, as they went into Ethiopia to abduct Bishop for the Winslow Accord. The Player was fatally wounded in the mission, and she was the only survivor from Hendrix's team. Taylor rushed her to a hospital as a candidate for the Dead Killer program. Hendrix also volunteered to join the Dead Killers in cybernetic augmentation. The same year, in the mission New World, Taylor's team stopped an attack with virus 6115 by the Cotardis Terrorist Collective, a group of undead sympathizers who believed that the undead were the next step in human evolution. The Player set off the bomb loaded with virus 6115 before it entered the city. Dead Killers were immune to it, but she sustained non-fatal injuries. The Player and Hendrix left Taylor's team, and they formed their own team. Taylor's team was given a mission to investigate the old Coalescence Corporation facility after a disturbance that Salim caused. However, when they interfaced with their DNI, Deimos possessed them, controlling them like he did with the zombies. They then began a mission to spread the zombie epidemic as far and wide as possible. They went to the CIA Black Station, and Deimos had them kill the staff there because they knew too much. Then they went to find Salim. Salim thought Deimos would be grateful for what he had done, but Deimos just executed him. In 2070, in the mission Hypocenter, the player and Hendrix were sent to the original Coalescence Corporation facility to locate Taylor's team. Diaz deactivated the quarantine zones, letting zombies loose around the world, and so they killed Diaz. Hendrix interfaced with his DNI to learn where Taylor was, and Deimos possessed Hendrix, although it lay dormant. They escaped the facility as the 54I blew it up to try to contain the zombies. Meanwhile, Taylor met with Gojulan and Gomin of the 54I and interfaced with their DNI, and so Deimos possessed them too. In the mission Provocation, the player and Hendrix tried to escape Singapore, but they had an altercation with the 54I. Gomin was killed, and Gojulan escaped, missing a hand. By this time, since the quarantine zones were down, zombies were attacking every nation around the world. In the Undead Wars, Hong Kong, Berlin, and Cairo were the first to fall to the zombies. By 2075, only a few 100 million humans remained alive, with zombies numbering 7 billion. Taylor managed to remain hidden from what was left of the Winslow Accord. In the mission Sandcastle, the player and Hendrix were taking out a Catardus colony when they found that it was also Taylor's hideout. Dolos, unlike Deimos, could only possess one person, and she let them still have free will. She decided that she was bored of Deimos, and she possessed Rachel Kane and used her to protect the player. This earned the nickname of the Guardian Angel that the player gave to Kane. They found Moretti, who told them about Deimos' influence. Taylor escaped, but they had to kill Moretti. The player and Hendrix went to see Bishop, and they asked him about Deimos. Bishop told them that Deimos was probably the entity behind the zombies, and that a safe house in Singapore had all of their information on him. In the mission Vengeance, they fought through the Vultures, scavengers that committed horrible atrocities to survive, in order to get to the safe house. When the Vultures spotted them, they notified the 54I and Gojulan. Since Deimos possessed both Gojulan and the zombies, Gojulan and the zombies worked together. Gojulan captured Kane, and so the player killed Gojulan and saved Kane. They found the information on Deimos was moved to the CIA Black Station. In the mission In Darkness, the player Hendrix and Kane infiltrated the CIA Black Station in Singapore. After Gojulan's death, the 54I fell to the Vultures, who ruled what was left of Singapore. They learned of Deimos, and they learned about his sister Dolos. In the mission Rise and Fall, the player Hendrix and Kane would have gone to Ramses Station, Egypt's last stand, to question Salim, except they found Salim was dead. In the mission Demon Within, the player Hendrix and Kane went to Hall's last known location to stop Deimos. They knew that Deimos wanted to open the gateway to MALUM, to use the demons from MALUM to enslave Earth's undead population for the battle against Dolos. Hall attacked the player and Hendrix, but they stopped her. The player interfaced with her DNI to learn what she knew. The player and Hall shared a virtual simulation as the information was passed, going from a simple interrogation to the Coalescence Corporation to the siege of Bastogne in World War II to a shack attacked by zombies. Deimos tried to evict the player from Hall's mine, and he tried to consume Hall, so the player killed her to prevent a worse fate from Deimos. Deimos entered the player's mine, but he was unable to possess her. Dolos wouldn't allow it. In the mission Lotus Towers, the player, Hendrix, and Kane attempted to locate Taylor based on the information they learned. Dolos told the player to let Deimos have what he wanted. Deimos attacked the player with Taylor, zombies, drones, and a gunship. Taylor ripped out his DNI to rid himself of Deimos, but Hendrix executed him, as Deimos possessed Hendrix, who left on the gunship. Kane took the player to a hospital for her injuries. In the mission Life, the player and Kane went to Zurich, one of the last standing cities, following Hendrix. When they got there, Hendrix used his DNI to give Deimos control over all of the drones around the world. While entering the facility, they found virus 6115 experiments. Deimos lied to them with the toxicity levels and let Kane enter the room, only to flush virus 6115 on her, killing her. When Kane died, Dolos moved to the player and possessed her. The player found Hendrix, who was trying to get Sebastian Kruger, one of the top executives of Project Corvus, to open the gateway a second time. The player and Hendrix shot each other, killing each other.
I am Dolos, mistress of deception and
All
trickery.
that remains is your
You
sacrifice.
are more powerful than he can
Humanity
imagine.
has outstayed its welcome. The dead shall inherit the earth. Listen to the sound of my voice. Can you hear me?
Who's there? I can't see you.
My name is Dr. Salim. We've met before.
Dr. Salim, where am I?
You have fallen between the world of the living and the dead. The void.
I'm dead? No, I can't be dead. Deimos, I have to stop him.
And you still can. I'll explain as we go. For now, you must trust me. Think back to Coalescence. The start of your journey. The beginning.
The beginning.
Deimos was still inside the player's mind as she died. He posed as Salim, and he began coaching the player to relive her memories. Deimos guided the player through the events and missions that led her to this point, occasionally lying to her, trying to change details he didn't like. When they relived the events with Kruger, Deimos told her to change what happened, and Dolos told her to let Deimos have what he wanted. So the player killed Hendrix, who shot Kruger, and the player survived the altercation. The influence of the two demigods made this action into an alternate timeline where the player survived and didn't die. All Deimos needed now was a human sacrifice to open the gateway, and so he possessed the player, forcing her to shoot herself. Upon opening the gateway, the player was taken to MALUM. MALUM was nearly incomprehensible to humans, and so it appeared almost like a dream state to her, using her memories to comprise itself. Deimos and Kruger passed through the gateway as well, which angered Deimos. He didn't want to return to MALUM yet. While in MALUM, Dolos created a fragment of Taylor to accompany the player as she killed all three of Deimos' hearts. Deimos tried to kill her to stop her, but with the help of Dolos, the player purged his soul and returned to the Delta Realm.
I won't let you do this. We're not finished.
She's burned your hearts. You're already weakening. Once she destroys your soul, it will be complete.
What choice do you have, Deimos? This is the world you made for yourself.
I cannot be defeated. I won't be undone. I cannot be. Why won't you just die?
This is your chance. Let's see what a mortal can do. Do it! Kill him!
No. I am Deimos, demigod of dread and terror!
Oh yeah? How's this for fucking horrifying? Wait, this is Zurich. You said I couldn't come back to Earth.
Right now, we've got bigger problems.
Why? Because we killed your brother, heir to the throne of MALUM?
We've thrown this universe into anarchy. Demigods, sirens, titans, deities alike will go to war.
Let them come.
I like the sound of that. So, what's the plan, partner?
We kill every last one of these motherfuckers.
With Deimos dead, Bishop's cure for the undead finally worked. Dolos won an ancient battle of sibling rivalry, but in so doing she upset the balance of power in MALUM. Dolos warned the player that other entities from MALUM might try and take them out, but the player was ready for anything that came their way.
MALUM, the king on his fiery throne.
MALUM was one of the other 62 universes, and it was ruled by deities resembling pseudo-Greek myths. MALUM's appearance changed to form a reflection of the memories of whoever viewed it. A great variety of mythical beings inhabited MALUM, including deities, demigods, titans, and sirens. MALUM had a delicate balance of power between Cronus, Proteus, Hybris, Charon, the four brothers of the Great Sea, the Mirrors of Perseus, and Father, the king on his fiery throne. Father had two demigod children, Deimos and Dolos, that had a never-ending rivalry. However, after the events in the Delta realm and Deimos' death, the balance of power in MALUM was upset. Many deities prepared for an ultimate war of the gods that threatened to spill over into the Delta realm.
The Epsilon realm. Dead Ops Arcade.
The Epsilon realm diverged from the Alpha realm sometime in the second millennium of modern human history. It was the world behind Dead Ops Arcade, an arcade-style video game shooter. The game was playable by people in the Gamma realm. Within the game there existed a green soldier, an Op 40 soldier, a CDC agent, and a Spetsnaz soldier. These four soldiers went to Africa to find treasure, but instead they found zombies. When the Soviet Union was doing their space program, they sent many apes and monkeys into space. One gorilla named the Cosmic Silverback crash-landed back in this area of Africa covered in zombies. He reanimated and fought alongside the zombies. He had a beloved pet chicken named Fido, but all of the chickens were helping the soldiers, which made the Cosmic Silverback angry. The soldiers fought many enemies as they survived, including zombies, hounds, gas zombies, Sasquatches, and abominable martyrs. The Cosmic Silverback constantly harassed them, and eventually the soldiers killed him. The Cosmic Silverback had many brothers who were angry about his death, and they began attacking the soldiers too. Eventually the soldiers found a safe place to lay low.
Set up Arcade 2, Cyber's Avenging.
The sequel to the game, Dead Ops Arcade 2: Cyber's Avenging, began the second part of the story. The brothers of the Cosmic Silverback mourned his death at a funeral. One of the brothers, the Cyber Silverback, decided to take his revenge. After exercising and building up his strength, he went to find the soldiers. Meanwhile, the soldier and Fido began to develop a close relationship. But then the Cyber Silverback kidnapped his dead brother's beloved chicken Fido. The soldier told the other soldiers that a Silverback was back, and so they headed into the area to fight zombies once more. This time, they found many enemies including zombies, hounds, napalm zombies, skeletons, shadow boogies, parasites, insanity elementals, and margwas. The Cyber Silverback constantly harassed them, and eventually the soldiers killed him and rescued Fido. However, the Cyber Silverback's brothers kidnapped Fido again and began attacking the soldiers again.
The Zeta realm. iOS zombies.
The Zeta realm diverged from the Alpha realm sometime in the 20th century. In 1945, Marines fought zombies at v.III. When Dr. Edward Richtofen killed Dr. Peter McCain, he buried him in a grave in Shinonuma instead of hanging him. Tank Dempsey, Nikolai Belinsky, Takeo Masaki, and Richtofen, the 4 test subjects, fought zombies in Shinonuma and Derries before teleporting to Kino der Toten in 1969. While at Kino der Toten, they met a Marine named Rook. Tank tried to teach Rook how to fight zombies, but Rook became infected and turned into a zombie. Tank had to kill him. The subjects fought zombies in Kino der Toten and then teleported to Ascension in 1962. They fought zombies there and then teleported to the shooting of Call of the Dead Director's Cut in 2011. The subjects fought zombies there as the actors had either run off or were already killed. Then they teleported back in time to World War II. Richtofen went alone to the site of Nachderen Toten, but he became infected and turned into a zombie. The Marines there had to kill him.
The ETA realm. DS zombies.
The ETA realm diverged from the Gamma realm sometime in the 20th century. 4 locations were overrun by red-eyed zombies and hounds in the late 1960s. Sergeant Michael Shaw, a CIA operative, and Sergeant Yuri Razlov, a Soviet defector, worked together to fight zombies at the battles of House, Facility, Temple, and Overlook.
The THETA realm. Dr. Monty's factory.
The first one decided to use one of the realms to manufacture Perxicola to better supply warriors in zombie battles throughout the realms. It had absolutely no problem with stealing the inventions of Group 935 and other realms and marketing them as its own invention. It decided to create the pseudonym Dr. Monty to sell its products. Monty orchestrated events in the Theta realm until eventually Dr. Monty's factory was developed. Monty plagiarized the Alpha realm's Group 935's Juggernog, Speed Cola, Double Tap Root Beer, and Quick Revive, the original Perxicola. Monty also plagiarized 2 other Perxicola from other realms. Monty stole Electric Cherry from someone in the Kappa realm and Widow's Wine from Division 9 in the New realm. Monty invented some flavors of Perxicola himself, including Stamina Up, PhD Flopper, Deadshot Daiquiri, Mule Kick, Double Tap Root Beer 2, Tombstone Soda, Who's Who, and Vulturate Elixir. The tradition of the catchy jingles continued, and the reverse-engineered Pack-a-Punch was also distributed. Dr. Monty plagiarized Newton's cookbook to mass-produce Gobblegum gumballs in his factory using liquid divinium. Gobblegums came in many varieties, including Alchemical Antithesis, Always Done Swiftly, Anywhere But Here, Armamental Accomplishment, Arms Grace, Arsenal Accelerator, Coagulant, Danger Closest, Firing on All Cylinders, Impatient, In Plain Sight, Lucky Crit, Newtonian Negation, Now You See Me, Projectile Vomiting, Stock Option, and Swordflay. Monty also produced a rare variety called Mega Gumballs, with varieties such as Aftertaste, Bullet Boost, Burned Out, Cashback, Crate Power, Crawl Space, Dead of Nuclear Winter, Disorderly Combat, Ephemeral Enhancement, Fatal Contraption, Fear in Headlights, Head Drama, I'm Feeling Lucky, Immolation Liquidation, Killjoy, Killing Time, Licensed Contractor, Mind Blown, Near-Death Experience, On the House, Perkaholic, Phoenix Up, Pop Shocks, Profit Sharing, Respin Cycle, Round Robin, Secret Shopper, Self-Medication, Shopping Free, Slaughter Slide, Temporal Gift, Unbearable, Undead Man Walking, Unquenchable, Wall Power, and Who's Keeping Score? Monty created promotional offers to exchange his products for any liquid divinium that anyone could provide, and he distributed Newton's cookbook for homemade distillation of gobblegums.
The IOTA realm. One arm.
The IOTA realm diverged from the Alpha realm sometime early in human history. Some type of evolutionary change or mutation resulted in all human beings only having one arm. Despite this, in the 1940s, Tank Dempsey still earned the world record for the most consecutive one-armed push-ups.